When I was 23 years old, I had bleached blonde tips. I had spiky hair. I was kind of just running around being a knucklehead. That's the exact opposite of the incredible wholesaler that I'm speaking to today on this podcast. He lives in Pennsylvania. He's moving to Texas and he does business in Florida. He's going to show us how he is finding deals, communicating with property owners, and getting these deals closed. Here we go. Welcome to the podcast, Howard Wildey. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm excited about this. I'm excited because right here I have a Post-it note after a one-on-one Zoom that you and I did, and it had the number one goal that I told you to go after, and it was 30 contacts a day. That's what that Post-it note says. And so how have you been doing with hitting this goal of talking to 30 people a day about buying their house?
It started off a little rough, trying to get the rhythm and get like a certain routine about saying, okay, I have to hit this goal. How am I going to do it? Because cold calling, for me personally to hit 30 contacts, I was putting in like more than 3 hours a day. You have to, because like a lot of these numbers, they're not always active. Disconnected, voicemail, so I was spending like 4 or 5 hours and then just calling, and then eventually I was hitting 30, but then I started getting some good leads from a good buddy of mine, which is PPC, and then I was really hitting those numbers a lot easier. PPC is the way, guys.
Yeah. So tell me about that. So are you cold calling at all anymore?
I cold call after I reach out to all the leads I supposed to call in the morning. So I have about 23 or 27 opportunities in my pre-screening pipeline right now. I call all of them. Then I go over to acquisitions. I call all of them. And these are all warm leads. And then after I contact all my warm leads once in the morning, then I hop right into cold calling for about 2 to 3 hours. And then after that, I follow up all of them once more.
So you said pay-per-click, which I totally agree. That's our number one channel. That's where we're getting 90% of the deals that we did last year and this year are pay-per-click. It's the top of the pyramid when it comes to lead generation, no doubt about it. But they are expensive. So how are you affording it?
So currently, right now, I have an agreement with a good buddy of mine. So he gets leads from his brokerage or a team that he's on, and apparently just no one really takes a look at these leads now, because like they get so many leads a month. There's just so many untouched leads that these realtors aren't touching. He said, Howard, this is money just sitting there. He said, call them. And the first week I was calling them, I locked up a deal, and we sold that deal last week, and I made 21,000. So I'm gonna keep calling them. It's free money, in my opinion.
So how does this work? Your friend has his own pay-per-click account for just finding people that want to buy and sell real estate as a traditional realtor?
He doesn't have it. I believe the team he's on has it, and he has access to that CRM, and he gave it access to me.
Nice. Do you know what their budget is a month?
Honestly, I believe it's about like 70 grand a month.
Okay. Got it. And where are they running their pay-per-click ads?
I believe all over Florida and like Tennessee, a bunch of different states. It's a very big team.
Well, let me just explain what PPC means. It means pay per click. Basically, you spend money in this case, your buddy's team is spending 70,000 to Google. You spend it to Google, and Google, when people search "sell my house," I want cash for my house, sell my house with a realtor, sell my house without a realtor, sell it fast. All these things, all these searches, then the search results pop up, and the first 4 are sponsored. And so if somebody clicks on that link, you pay Google, $30 to $60 every time somebody clicks on that link. And then they land on your website, and hopefully you got a good converting website that they then fill out a form. You get that information, and typically you get a text message or email or both, and then you reach right out. Are you reaching right out to these leads?
I don't get a text message or an email. I kind of have it on my second monitor, which I added a Google extension to where it automatically refreshes every couple minutes. So that's kind of my way. So I would say I'm reaching out to them probably like really after 10 minutes, which isn't ideal, but that's just the way it comes in because it needs to be within like 60 seconds or to like a couple minutes is what I've heard from people who do it. But it's kind of what I can get for now, unfortunately. But it's not too bad.
Yeah, our rule is 30 seconds. You
Yeah.
have 30 seconds to call it. Well, we also have, when a lead comes in on our website, it goes out to 6 of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obviously lowest on the totem pole. It goes to the acquisition teams first, Chad, and then Ryan, and then Joshua, and then Adrian, and then Darian, who those 2 guys are in Costa Rica. They're VAs that are kind of like our backstop just in case if everybody's busy. And then I'm the last line of defense, which it's never gotten to me. It's always been somebody's always reached out within that 30 seconds because it's absolutely critical. Because they're going to fill out other forms on other websites. And so you want to make sure that they're still on your website, hopefully, when you do give them a call. But are you having any trouble getting a hold of some of these leads after it's been 10 minutes?
No, not at all. They always answer, always glad to have a conversation. And I always say right off the bat, hey, I'm not a realtor. I know you were possibly looking to sell with a realtor. Just want to know if that's what you're looking to do, or would you want to go the cash offer route? And they have no problem. They have no problem with it. Just sometimes they want a realtor because they want to get the max price they can. And there's nothing wrong with that because not everybody wants to go trade equity for speed and convenience.
So are you going through that right off the bat, or are you having a little bit of dialogue and figuring out what their goals are first before you, tell them their options?
The first thing I do is I figure out their timeline,
Yep.
because I feel like that's most important because if someone's selling 30 days, they're going to know cash is probably the best route. But if someone says like 3 to 6 months, 3 to 6 months, they're more likely going to go with a realtor, just from my experience. But that's kind of one of the first questions I ask.
So what do you ask them? I
say, hey, Mr. Seller, how's it going? My name's Howard. Hey, Howard. And I'm just like, I saw online that you were possibly looking to sell your house. We get these leads through a third party or a third party referral company. So I don't instantly say I'm calling from them because I'm not really supposed to say that because it can kind of get them in trouble because I'm not really supposed to have these leads. But this is what I tell them. I'm like, hey, Howard, I got it from a third party referral company. Just heard you looking to possibly sell your house. What's going on? Catch me up to speed. And then we just have a quick conversation. And once they start giving me numbers and timelines, that's kind of when I start really getting into more of the qualifying stage, asking more of the condition. But I don't always ask about condition off the bat because I want to just know if I'm talking to someone who wants to sell for cash in 30 days because I just don't want to waste time because there's so many leads, it's just a conversation that could be just wasting. Oh.
Brother, I am telling you, 24 days. That's the average time from the first conversation that we have with somebody that fills out a form on our website and the time that we get paid is 24 days. This lead that you just closed, and you jumped the gun on me, Howard. You jumped the gun on me. You told me how much you made. You didn't let me really build up the excitement so we can ring this victory bell, which I will later because we'll break it all down. So you're still stuck with me on that. But from the day that you talked to that lead to the time that you got paid on that, how long was that? Do you remember?
I believe it was February 26th or 28th to 17th.
That's what I'm talking about. Guys, yeah. I am telling you, I am the TTP guy. I am the go out there and call as many people as possible. Keep your marketing budget as low as possible when you're starting out. Really build up the experience of effectively speaking and communicating and making offers to property owners, whether you're talking to realtors and you're making offers on the market or you're going off market straight to owners. Just have that experience because you're going to build the skills. But once you have the skills and you have the budget, all roads lead to pay-per-click because they're the fastest and typically they're bigger. They're bigger deals. I mean, we have seen that across the board. Cold calling, we were making $22,000 a deal. Now we're at $30,000 a deal with pay-per-click. It's absolutely incredible. And stick with me. I'll let you know the number one resource for doing your pay-per-click. And I'll give you that in just a second. But This is incredible, Howard. First of all, I'm a little bit curious as to why you're not supposed to be calling these leads. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I'm the third party, I'm this and that. Is it because the person paying for it doesn't know it?
yeah. They have
That's
no
it.
idea. That's really
Okay.
just it. And I mean, it just is what it is for now, I guess, until I can afford my own leads. But oh, and one quick thing, because I just wanted to mention how I told you earlier on the Zoom call, we have our accountability, right? I told you I got that guy. He actually just sent me his email. So after this, I'm sending a person sale agreement out. So hey, look at that, we got another one. I'm so
What are we
happy.
doing? We got to wrap this up. You got to get this deal. I'll tell you what.
And this one was cold calling, by the way. I cold called this guy. I love it. Like I love it. It's so nice.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Come on. Michael Jordan number. I love it. So
Oh yeah.
when did you start down this path?
I mean, realistically, I started in 2021, but I was never consistent. I was off doing a bunch of different things, partying, just messing around, being young. But then I you know, just I sat down, said, I can do more for my life. I don't want to sit inside a chair and have a manager and make somebody else money, right? Because I know I can do better. Hence, here we are. So,
Awesome. So at 18 you were like, "You know what? I want to get into real estate."
yeah, no, it was, yeah, it was off and on. I was watching a lot of Jerry, Jamil, and Pace. I was watching a lot of that. I
Yeah,
wasn't
but
consistent.
why? Like there's a billion creators on YouTube.
Hmm.
Like how did you just you're like, "You know what? I want to learn about real estate." What did you type into search? Do you remember?
I saw it on TikTok, and I joined the Facebook group. And then I was in a random person's Facebook group, and then someone said, "Hey guys, check out these guys." And that's when I learned about Wholesale Hotline, right? So I
Yeah.
joined the Wholesale Hotline, and there's a video, like there's a link to a video because my mom recorded it. I came on Wholesale Hotline like 3 years ago,
Mhm.
and that's when I met you guys, and like I didn't know what I was doing, and you said, "Howard, come back with the beanie, come back with everything when you get a deal, and let's talk about it." And ever since then, I just kept trying to focus. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I saw you guys doing it, and I see all these other people doing it. I'm like, well, why can't I do it? I'm smart. I can build a computer. I can run ads. I think I can make a few phone calls, right?
So you're like a senior in high school and you're just screwing around with your buddies and you're like, "You know what? I'll just go on YouTube or I'll go on I'm going to just jump on TikTok," and somebody goes, "Hey, you want to make money in real estate?" And you're like, "Yeah, that sounds pretty good." And
Mm-hmm.
then you just pulled on that thread?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
Come on.
That's how we
It's
do it, man.
incredible. Well, I'm so glad that you did because I think that you have a tremendous amount of value to add to the industry and you're just really warming up. And so, you've got your pay-per-click leads, but also I think it's really smart. You're not just relying on these leads because those could be turned off at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Exactly.
that you're
Yep.
not paying for it. You don't control it. Literally in the next, well, knock on wood, in the next 15 seconds, they could be like, "What? No, we'll work those leads ourselves," right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really rely on that. So you're smart to be building your skills, building your pipeline of leads by picking up the phone and just calling and calling and calling. So what's your favorite list to call?
Favorite list by far is code violations. That's the first list I called. I got my first lead, and then I got my second lead. I mean, sorry, my first deal and then my second deal was some code violations. It's because people have violations on their house, and then along with the code violations list, they always include like the liens and whatnot. It just comes with the list, and people have problems, and you call them, see if you need help solving them, and that's what I do.
What are code violations?
Code
Expand on
violation.
that.
Yeah. So code violations or violations you get against property when the lawn isn't taken care of. There's a tarp on the roof. There's cars on the driveway. There's a bunch of trash on the front yard, and the city and neighbors don't like that. They're like, okay, there's a problem here, and we're gonna fine you until you fix the problem. And then it accumulates over time, and just becomes more and more of a headache. And then there's liens against the house, and this happens.
So how do you get this list?
So there's two ways you can go about it, which I do. What I did at first, I go to the county website and I fill out to right to know act. I have ChatGPT just like type up a little, like 2-3 sentence description of what I'm looking for: tall grass, active code violations. And then there is a second way to do it, which is what you told me, which is, where's it at? Realsupermarket.com. You can use that as
Mhm.
well. I just put in my first request, I think, a couple of days ago. So I'm waiting for that, And those are the two ways you can do it. There's a free way and a paid way. The free way, you have to organize it yourself in Google Sheets or Excel, kind of really make it good so when you go to skip trace it. But Real Supermarket, I'm just going to assume you get it the right way, like the easy,
Yeah.
fast way. So.
Well, I like going direct is always going to be faster. Going direct is always going to give you more control. It's going to take more time and effort, but it's typically a better list because the more hoops you have to jump through, the less people will do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if you could just go to realsupermarket.com, pay for it, boom, you got it. Anybody can do it. So test them both, obviously, just giving you a little coaching moment here. Test them both. Make sure that you see which ones you're having better conversations and more importantly, which ones are actually closed deals that you're actually getting and finding great deals that you can get paid on. Right.
Yeah,
and
sure.
so always for everybody listening and watching, make sure you are tracking where your leads and deals are coming from. And if you get really good at those certain lists, maybe it's probate, maybe it's inherited, maybe it's code violation, maybe it's driving for dollars, maybe it's whatever, tax default. You can go after so many different lists. The resources are endless to be able to pull those lists. But nothing happens unless you're reaching out to them somehow. Either you're paying to reach out to them with some sort of marketing and they're calling you, or you're being super proactive like Howard here and picking up the phone and calling people every day, a couple hours a day.
Every day, Brent. It's ridiculous how much I'm on my phone. I mean, on the phone. Sometimes I have to take off my headset or my AirPods because my ears start to hurt. Because I'm just calling so much. But the one thing I would recommend to people, if you were trying to track exactly what lists you're getting the most conversations from, because I literally just started doing this 2 weeks ago. So in Go High Level, that's what I use. You can put like a tag next to so when you import a list, you can add a tag for all the contacts, and for each one. So for code violations, I have CV. For probate, I have PB. So I know which ones I'm getting the most conversations from, and it's always code violations. But that's just
Always.
me. Just how it is.
That's fantastic. No, that's really great. That's good. And what markets are you in?
Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville. Solid markets. Everyone's working there. There's plenty of people to JV with. Everyone's in Florida. Go to Florida. That's what I say.
But wait a second, Howard. You're in Pennsylvania right now, and you're moving to Texas. How are you doing deals in Florida? That's impossible.
It's not impossible. Gotta think outside the box. I thought the same thing, but then I see Brent doing deals everywhere. I mean, Arizona. I see Jamil Pace and all of their students just doing deals everywhere. What's
Jerry?
his name? Yeah, oh yeah, Jerry Noren. Yeah, the man himself doing deals literally everywhere, and he's on the road with his family, making tens to thousands of dollars a month, really a week. Just in an RV with the fam, or not anymore, but.
Yeah, we had $104,000 assignment last year on a deal that we closed in April, and I was in Hawaii for Alejandra, my assistant's wedding.
Okay.
And so one of our guys, Joshua, was left behind. The whole rest of the team was there too. Joshua was left behind, got this deal, locked it up. He was just kind of locking it up. We didn't really give him solid numbers on it. He just found an incredible opportunity from pay-per-click, went out, locked it up, got it sold. I mean, we were at a wedding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously that didn't happen in the first few years of my business because I was doing everything myself, but this is a business that you can scale. This is a business that you can, make enough to fire your boss first and go full time, and then fire yourself from certain roles and be able to hire people that are way better than you at these certain roles and can just focus on the certain roles. That's what's so exciting about this. Not only that, but you can decide, hey, maybe I do want to get into flipping and pick the best deals here to really squeeze the most out of. Maybe I want to cherry pick that deal and add it to my portfolio. Maybe I do want to buy that piece of land and maybe build something to rent or build something to sell, all those things. But you get you get all of this opportunity to see what the other cash buyers, the other investors that have been doing this for years and years and years are doing with these properties. When you just sell the deal over to them and see what happens with them, make the money, build up your experience, and then boom, once you have your team in place, you can start expanding the different things that you do for income. It's incredible.
It's awesome. It's real estate.
It's
It's
incredible.
fun.
What's your plan with it? I mean, when you look at the next 5, 10 years, 15 years, what does it look like?
um I really been putting a lot of thought into that over the past couple weeks, especially like with the 2 deals I've done this year. I'm about to do 2 more, because I just locked one up, right? And this is the second I locked up today. And when I think about that stuff, right, I'm like, what can I do next year? Because this year my goal is 250 by the end of the year, and the next year I'm thinking maybe 350, like 4. And that 5 years down the line, I look at your company, Brent, because that's why I joined TTP, because I like to be able to come to your office and see a team. Like, okay, this is what I want. I want to be the head honcho with my team underneath me, managing the rest of the company. And yeah, it's gonna take a lot of time. Of course it is. But that's what I want. I want a company like yours. I want to copy and paste.
Yep.
I want to copy and paste the biceps.
That's right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to do. So, like, that's my plan. And, like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, but that's why I'm part of your team, so I can learn. That's just my goal.
Well, we're happy and excited that you're here. So let's break this down. Let's get into the nitty gritty of this deal that you just closed for 21,000. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
How did you find it? What was the conversation like? What was the lead like? By the way, if you're getting a lead call right now, you can take it live if you want.
Oh no, that was actually the alarm, because I thought it was 6 o'clock, so I had the alarm at 5:30. Actually.
Okay.
Okay. So the lead came in. So it was Friday. I was tired, but I was like, you know what? Let's make one more phone call. It never hurts. And of course, I made one more phone call. So I made the call. He didn't pick up the first time. I was like, you know what? Last call, double dial. And he was like, who's this? I said, hey, it's Howard. What's going on, Rich? I said, so you looking to sell your house? Can we have a quick conversation? I know it's late. He said, oh, of course. We talked for 8 minutes. Really didn't talk much. Just said, he dealt with a wholesaler before, didn't want to deal with it. He's looking for a serious buyer. I said, Rich, I'm the guy you're looking to talk to. And I said, I'll call him back tomorrow. And honestly, we never hopped on a phone call after that. We only spoke through text. It was straight text message talk, and I made him an offer the next morning. I said, how close could you get to 170? He said, Howard, I think 195 would be the best we could do. And that was a deal.
So first of all, real quick, did he already tell you what price he was looking for, or what price that he had locked up with the other wholesaler?
No, not yet. I found that out later on.
Okay. So you have a quick conversation. You're learning a little bit about the house. How's the condition?
He said it needs a lot of work. He said it needs a new roof. House needs a lot of work. That's why we're looking to get this done as soon as possible. Not trying to waste no time. That's kind of all he told me. And then
was it vacant? Was it occupied?
Occupied by his brother's son, who is now the owner because he inherited it. So he was taking on all the conversations. He was being the guy to get it done for the brother's son.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the brother's son owned it?
Yeah. He inherited it.
Okay. So did you talk to the actual owner?
I've never had a conversation with him. That guy was just the guy. No, not whatsoever. He spoke for the owner the whole time.
Got it.
First time.
And so you're having these conversations with him, and then he has to have these conversations with the owner?
Yeah, and I believe he was pretty young. I think he was around my age, like early 20s, So he was kind of just like taking on the adult role for him, basically.
Sure.
Makes sense.
Got it. Through text message.
All through text message. Believe it or not, I didn't talk to him once on the phone. Not one bit. It was insane. And that was just the beginning. And like this whole deal gets a little messy. So I get it at 190 or so. No, 195. Lock it up on a Sunday night. First thing Monday, out to buyers. I'm instantly JVing with it. JVing it because that's the agreement I have with my buddy. So he's putting it out. We have our scheduled walk for all the buyers on Tuesday. And I said, I want to set the expectation. In text said, hey, Rich, Tuesday, I'm gonna have some contractors coming over, a foundation specialist as well, because that's one thing he did tell me. The foundation is cracked. I said, okay, cool. Foundation specialist, general contractors, and one of my partners. I said, honestly, it'd probably be about like 7 to 8 people. He said, Howard, that's fine. Let's get it done.
Yep.
And this is where it got a little hairy. It's because when they blasted it out, a couple people on his buyers list were dispo wholesalers, daisy chained. When I tell you 20 people showed up to this house, the seller texted me saying, Howard, like, what is going on? You told me 7 to 8 people, 20 people. I had to apologize, get things handled. Every buyer said no because of that foundation issue. If there was no foundation issue, we were clearing like a $70K assignment. You know what I mean? But because the foundation, everyone walked away. And luckily, one of the dispo wholesalers, buyer, was able to get it down at 242, like around there. I don't know the exact number what they sold it for, but they came through, got it done, and we sold it. But we would think that's the end of that. No, it wasn't. So the day of closing was Monday, a couple days ago, and we're supposed to close. Everything's good, but then apparently the seller went back there, broke the lockbox, went inside, made a pizza, and I guess there was some contraband there because he was, I guess, unfortunately, like a drug user. There was some contraband left, and the buyer was scared. He was like, "Guys, we don't want someone breaking in and squatting on us. Like, is this fine?" So we had to do a last minute 458. Title closes at 5. $7,500 escrow holdback for 14 days, and that will be released after the 14 days so they can confirm it's vacant. And then we got it signed. Funds were released the next day. Everybody calmed down. But that was my first wild deal, Brent. Like, I've never had my heart go up and down more times in a day than this. But that's how the deal went.
That's how these deals go. So wait a second. You locked it up for $195, and the final sales price to the buyer was $242.
Oh yeah, I got a price reduction to $175 because of the foundation. Forgot to mention that. Had to go in for that. I said, how close can you get to 160? He said, let's meet at 175, and got it done. And he didn't want no assignability because this is when I found out how much someone locked it up for with a assignability in it. They locked it up at $250 with him. And then I guess they tried to sell it at a different price, but because of the foundation, I couldn't do it. So I had to take out assignability and/or signs out of my buyer's name. And that's why we had to double close as well. Paid about $8,000 in fees.
So you bought it and sold it.
Bought it and sold
and had
it.
to pay and had to pay the fees. Really interesting. Yeah. Oftentimes, listen, this is a great point. I love that you're bringing this up because this is a great, point of education for everybody that's listening. There are often times when people, maybe they're newer, maybe they just want to win, maybe they just want to beat out the other offers, and they think that, if they lock it up at a high price, maybe somebody will pay more for it. Maybe they can go and negotiate with the seller to bring down the price, right? All of these things. Then it doesn't happen. The seller's unhappy and they go, you know what? This person told me that he wasn't going to be the buyer. This person told me that they were going to put it out to everybody and assign it. Great. They did this disclosure. They did everything by the book there, but they weren't able to make it happen. And he didn't want that to happen again. So they're like, hey, remove all this stuff. You close on it. You did that. You did that, and then and then the buyer bought it from you. Absolutely fantastic. Was it a double escrow or a double close?
Double escrow.
So the funds from your buyer paid to close your deal, and then it also funded their own deal, their own purchase.
So I'm a little new for this, so I get a little confused. We basically use that Abraham guy, a transactional lender, and we borrowed his money to do it. And
Got it. So that's a double close.
Okay, yeah.
So you closed on it, went on title, and then closed on it, and then they closed with their own funds. That's a cleaner way. Most title companies now really won't do double escrow. Some do. It just depends where they use the funds from your buyer to fund your purchase, which is interesting. There's a tremendous amount of disclosures with that, and sometimes that confuses the seller. And so it's a lot cleaner to just close on it, get the funds, close on it yourself, and then boom, you close same day with your buyer. Transactional funding. It's fantastic. Cool. Isn't it incredible?
I was honestly, I was smiling so much, not even at the fact that I was making the money. I was smiling at the fact that I got to sit down with a notary and notarize paperwork. I took a video. I was so proud of myself. I've never done that. I never thought I'll be doing something like this. That's what I'm more happy about. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's so cool.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's kind of it feels official, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The first time you're sitting there with a notary signing something and
Hmm.
they're writing down and hopefully they're taking a thumbprint. Most don't, but I think that they should to help catch all the fraudsters out there that are faking IDs.
Yeah,
But it's yeah, it's kind of exciting. And then you do it a couple thousand times and it's it
yeah.
loses its excitement, I guess. But I don't know, I still get excited. I still think that it's pretty cool to just be buying and selling properties all the time. It's I still get a rush out of it.
It's
So
awesome. It's cool.
yeah. So Howard, I still don't get it. So you had 175, but it ended up selling for 242 to the end buyer. How did you only make 21,000 on this?
So 175, and then we sold, and then we sold it for 225, right? And then the other wholesalers added what they could on top. So we basically said, hey, JV it with us. 225 is our number. Add what you can on top, because we weren't too sure what we're going to be able to get for it, and they made it happen. And then they sold it for 242. It was a mess. I didn't even know that there was other wholesalers involved. I was just
Yeah.
letting my dispo friend who does dispo handle everything. So I found out literally that day that there was like 3 other people involved.
Yeah, Howard,
ugh.
you need to adopt that buyer that bought that.
Yeah. Oh,
You know what I mean?
did.
You
I
need to,
did.
you need to go to that buyer that was the end of the line, that actually purchased the property, the investor with the money. Because if you would have had that investor, that company buying it, you're talking 175 to 242. That's a much different size deal. You
Yes,
know what I
sir.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome. So, and you netted how much yourself personally in your account?
21,000, like 420 after that.
Come on.
It's good, man. Biggest deal I've ever did, and it's not gonna be the last biggest deal. I plan on doing a lot more, especially with what I'm learning. Because I set a quota for myself. It's 25K a month now. Like I have to hit it. I'm working hard every day, and I think it's doable because I have 2 deals lined up. Well, yeah, now 2, and I think just on the one I'm making 20 grand. So
Awesome.
I have to do it. It's for the company.
You're doing it.
It's fun.
Yeah, you're gonna do it without a doubt. You'll do it. Just stay consistent. Don't get shiny object. Don't go and start hiring everybody until you make 30 grand 3 straight months. Don't hire anyone. That is the rule of thumb.
Mm-hmm.
Just make 30 grand 3 straight months, and then you can start recruiting really great talent. Because the fact is, to get the best talent, you need to be able to have consistency. They need to feel secure, and they need to be able to win and win often.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get the absolute best talent to work with you. So awesome, Howard. So speak now to everybody getting started. Anybody that maybe they've done a couple deals. Maybe they did a couple deals back, in 2021, 22, and now they're kind of becoming full circle, or maybe they're going after their first one. What advice would you give them?
Exactly what Brent just said. Honestly, don't hire nobody. That was my first mistake. My first deal, I made 10 grand, spent 2.5 grand on VAs from Upwork, and I wasted so much money. And then I closed the next deal, wasted more money, and I got shiny object syndrome, wasted more money. I kept wasting money. I was earning this money, and then I was just burning it because I thought I knew what I was doing. I was trying to be, big boss man, but in reality, gotta stay small for now and work hard and just get to it, build to it. You can't jump ahead to level 7 when you're at level 1. When I joined Brent Daniels' community, I thought I was level 3 at least. No, I know. Brent said, no, you're level 1, bud. And that's kind of what happened. But guys, just stay focused, stack the bank account, and just watch more of these videos, and you'll learn what to do. Take it slow.
Awesome. Howard, how can people get a hold of you?
They can reach out to me. I mean, this is my phone number. Everybody has it. It's 267-203-6830. Or you can get me on Instagram at howard.wildey, Wildey. And I love to help and connect.
Just in Florida or throughout?
I mean, Really, just in Florida. I mean, I did one deal in Corpus Christi, Texas. That's where I am. That's where I am moving. I kind of want to do a little bit of deals there because there is some good action going on there, but primarily Florida.
Guys, listen, the most important first step as you are becoming a real estate entrepreneur is you have to find your tribe. You have to be around people that are doing this. They're actually closing. They're not stuck in like a classroom. They're not like a professor. You know what I mean? They're actually out there doing the work. They're actually getting it done. This is a great opportunity to reach out to Howard and start that relationship and just, be around people that are excited about this business. Be around people that have that conviction, that have that enthusiasm, and it's just going to pull you ahead faster being surrounded. So definitely reach out to Howard. Howard, thanks for being on, brother.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
What an incredible podcast episode that was with Howard Wildey. Make sure, guys, that you reach out. I can't imagine where he's going to be when he is 30 years old. He's going to be an absolute superstar. And we mentioned pay-per-click leads. And if you're interested in learning more about pay-per-click leads, which are by far the fastest, most motivated leads possible, go to talktopeople.com, talktopeople.com. If you register there, we will do a free audit of your market to let you know what the potential is in your specific market. Now, I will put a disclaimer here. You need to have a minimum budget, a minimum marketing budget of $5,000 to $10,000 a month to start running your pay-per-click campaigns. If you're lower than that, you're really just wasting your money. And I know that might sound like a lot right now, but you will get there and it will be really powerful. There's a lot of different marketing channels to use to get your way to that pay-per-click leads. But if you are there, make sure that you go to talktopeople.com. And that's it for this podcast episode. I am Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP, Mr. Talk to People. And I encourage you to go out there and talk to people. Love you guys. See you next time.